Oh, I had to move my camera around and I put it way too close. Now, interestingly enough, I do have the option to move the camera back and not film this clip at all, but instead I'm choosing to be right here. Good evening. I would like to buy a hamburger. I would like to buy a hamburger. I would like to buy a hamburger. Hamburger! If anybody knows what movie that's from, by the way, comment below. You better know what movie that's from. Now, I didn't have a brown beanie to foreshadow, but I did have a red beanie for tomato. In this video, we're going to be turning ourselves into the burger head from Fortnite. I literally have a stack of heads at this point. You know what? A stack of heads. And now we're gonna be adding the burger into it, which I'm actually really excited about. It's gonna look so cute. I don't know how I'm gonna stack them, but I gotta figure it out. I don't know. I was trying, anyways, okay, point is, if you enjoy this video and my madness of turning my head into other heads, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel over here or wherever the subscribe button may be. Now, this outfit is pretty simple, but I'm going to still sketch out the bow tie and then the division of colors just for peace of mind. Easy. In fact, one of the trickier parts of this video is I cannot decide if his outfit is blue or if it's purple. I am going to mix together a very lovely purple and blue. But I actually first am going to mix together the lighter colors by mixing together brown and orange, leaving the bow tie a little bit of a brighter orange, and then the burger top section more towards brown. And also within his outfit, he does have backpack straps, but I have something special to show you guys at the end. And while the orange on my bow tie is still wet, I'm going to go ahead and add my highlights using white body paint, which should mix into a light orange. I'm then going to be adding some brown eyeshadow and some orange eyeshadow to add the shading within the bow tie. I'm also going to add the shadow that the bow tie creates on this one side, even though I'm going to have to do it here, and I'm going to have to do it here. This is going to be the weirdest video in the weirdest order because normally I lay all the colors down first and then I go back and do shading, but you know what? I'm going to go ahead and shade this and make all the little wrinkles using brown eyeshadow. Okay, I'm getting really carried away with shading. I could shade, honestly, for hours. I'm then going to add the little burger seeds on this side and just add a little swoop of shading underneath. I'm then going to fill in this middle section with red and do a little bit of shading. Using a little bit of gray body paint, I'm then going to fill in the buttons in the center. And I'm just gonna add a little bit of shading. I'm then going to add together the purple and the blue color literally everywhere else, other than my face. Navy blue and purple have always been one of those like sketchy kind of colors where they get kind of patchy, so it might need a couple coats, but I'm going to move on to all of the shading and highlighting within this section, which is what really makes it actually look more like clothing instead of just blue-purple. And you know what? I think we got pretty close to the actual color of the shirt. I'm going to be using black eyeshadow to add all of the shading first. Because this blue is so dark, I'm also going to go in with black body paint to continue to darken up that shading. Now mixing together a little bit of white into our blue and purple mixture, I'm going to create the highlights. Look at all that styrofoam! And interestingly enough, this fits my head. Convenient. Now because these pieces are more of that styrofoam, it's like one of them I'm gonna be keeping the same because that's gonna be the burger texture, and then the other one I smoothed out on the outside using this smooth finish stuff. So this guy is gonna be the tomato, this guy is gonna be the burger, and then I also filled out the smooth stuff on the inside too, that way I don't scratch up my face. This stuff says that it's quick dry, I will let you know right now, it is not. Since this is still pretty rough, I'm gonna be taking really fine grit sandpaper and just sand it down. It says you can sand it, I've never done this before, so we'll find out adventuring together. Update, fine grit does nothing, I need a medium grit. So it's not the most beautiful of the smoothness, but for never working with this before, I don't think it's really that bad. So now we have our tomato, our meat, and this is going to be our lower bun, which the bottom one's already smooth. I don't know why, they didn't have smooth ones in the bigger ones, but we need to cut this out so we can put our head through it. Before we start assembling, I want to make sure I draw out our cheese, which I'm going to be making and melting out of foam. I'm then going to use my heat gun to give us some nice melty cheese around the edges. And just like the other pieces, we need a hole for our head. Now that we have all of our bottom pieces, I'm then going to paint each one. And to paint them, I'm just going to be using cheap acrylic paint. Once your pieces are dry, you can then start to assemble your burger. We can then begin to create the eyeballs and the olive for the top of the burger. I'm then going to cut the sticks that's holding everything together on the bottom to roughly the height of where I want the top of the burger to sit. Before I add the tongue and before I glue on the head, I want to add the highlights and Mod Podge everything. I'm going to be adding shiny Mod Podge to the shiny areas like cheese and tomatoes, and then matte Mod Podge to the bottom like the bun and the burger. Now originally I was thinking I was going to make the tongue out of either silicone or gelatin, but then I figured silicone might be too heavy. Gelatin might break when it's flopping around. Then I also considered like a placemat or fabric, but then I'm like, well, in order to actually make it flop around a lot, I'm gonna have to really headbang when I'm dancing. So I just decided to go with foam. Even though it's going to be stiff, I would rather have a more accurate tongue over a floppy tongue that might break or might not even flop at all. Even though the floppy tongue is by far my favorite thing about this burger, maybe I'll be able to figure out in the future, but for right now, we're gonna use foam. I also went ahead and made his backpack using foam, and then also the cardboard that you get for science projects and things like that at school. Surprise! Somebody's definitely gonna be calling one of those TV shows on me. At this point, me becoming what looks like a burger turtle, it's becoming normal. My nose is so squished in here. I feel like Squidward. And I will always love you. Will always love. Come on, bro.
That it?
Huh?
That's a dance?
Yeah, he just goes. You may be wondering why I'm single.